Hello guys, this is your boy Ali Solanki, and today in this video we'll be talking about my entire investment portfolio including my crypto investments as well. Now for the disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor and you should always think before investing in anything. So here is my entire investment portfolio. So for those of you who just want to check my portfolio out, you can pause the video right here and check my investments as well. So these are all of my investments. But if you want to know more about why I've invested in these assets in the first place and what my thought process was behind investing in them, then watch this video till the end as I'll be going over each one of them in detail. And by the way, I was thinking of making such investment portfolio videos every 6 months to keep you guys updated with my investment plans. So do like this video and comment down below if you want to see more such videos. So for the first thing that we have on the portfolio is small cap stocks, and I've invested around 15% of my portfolio in them. Now, small cap stocks are particularly very risky because of their high volatility and very low liquidity. Even after that, I've invested such a huge chunk of my portfolio in them, mainly because of two major reasons. The first one being the lockdowns that were in place have started opening up right now, and small businesses have started to resume their operations. This would in turn help them have a better balance sheet, which would then attract investors as well. The second reason for investing in such small cap stocks right now is because the crypto markets are falling and people are cashing out their cryptos. And I believe that this surplus of amount would in turn be invested back into the stock market, particularly the small cap stocks. So that's why their prices would go up too, and that's why I've invested 15% of my portfolio in them. So now that you know why I've invested in the small cap stocks in the first place, let's look at what I've invested in particularly. So here, instead of picking each small cap stock by myself, I've invested in the Access Small Cap Direct Fund, which directly invests in these small cap companies for us. Now, of course, you can do your own research and find some small cap stocks by yourself, but I prefer to diversify my investments by investing in a mutual fund directly. So, next up on our portfolio is stocks, that is 18% of my portfolio, and this actually constitutes only two of my favorite large cap stocks. One of them is ITC, which is the best dividend paying stock out there, and the second is Bajaj Finserv, which is most sought after stock because of its perfect balance sheet. After that, we have Sensex, which constitutes 26% of my entire portfolio. So, for those of you who don't know what Sensex is, it is basically an index that tracks the top 30 companies in India. It is considered to be a safe investment as only a market crash could bring down the Sensex by huge margins. So for that, I've invested in HDFC Index Sensex Direct Fund, which basically tracks the Sensex by itself. Now, other than that, we have Nasdaq, that is 16% of my total portfolio. And the reason for that is because till now, all the assets that I've named revolve around the Indian economy itself and depend on it. If, for example, the Indian economy does not do well, then the stock market would fall drastically, which would in turn bring all of these investments down with it. So, to counter this, I've kept 16% of my portfolio in Nasdaq. So, this safeguards my investments from any fall in the Indian economy. Now, in this particularly, I've invested in Motilal Oswal Nasdaq fund. Now, you can choose your own investment fund and stuff, but I have chosen this because it suits my needs perfectly. Also, one more thing that I wanted to mention is that you can also invest in US stocks through the Grow app. So, if you want to pick out individual stocks, do check its link down in the description box below. After this comes a bunch of small investments, and the first one is bonds. Now, I've just invested 2.4% of my portfolio in this, and this is because bonds are generally considered as a safe investment, and you usually need to invest in them for the long term. And here I'm talking about the government bonds, not the junk bonds. But again, with all this safety, it has a major disadvantage, and that is you don't get attractive returns on them. Now, I can can take risk with my portfolio and my risk appetite is quite high. So for me, it makes sense to not invest heavily on bonds. However, if your risk appetite is not that high, then you should probably invest more in bonds. After that, we have gold, which constitutes around 10% of my portfolio. Now, gold is something that everyone should have in their portfolio. And this is because gold is considered to be a store of value and usually goes opposite to the stock market. So, when stock markets are falling, gold prices will generally rise and vice versa. After that, I have around 10% of my portfolio in liquid cash, which means I can use it whenever I want and is just sitting in banks or as cash literally. Having it in cash obviously has the disadvantage of inflation. As inflation rises, the value of that 9.5% liquid cash will actually start to decrease. That's why, if you can, then try to keep it at a bare minimum unless you need cash in the near future. Then comes our favorite crypto, and I've invested around 2.4% of my investments there. The reason why I'm still holding on to crypto is because I believe in its idea and don't look at crypto only for gaining profits out of it. And obviously, I don't cash it all out because I'm still working on some of the projects. However, I need to give credit where it's due, and crypto has given me the best returns out of all of these investments. Of course, it's volatile, of course, it's very risky, but that's the truth. So that's it for all of my investments. If you like this video and found anything useful, then do press the like button, do subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you want to see next.